Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliann. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I suggest you watch my introduction video as well as my introduction to anxiety video. If you're returning, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It means the world to me. Today's video is going to talk about introduction to civil engineering as well as why I chose engineering. So it may end up being in two parts. So I'm going to start off with my major, civil engineering, what it means, and what you can do with it. Civil engineering is the design and construction of public works. So this could be roads, bridges, buildings, water, wastewater, stormwater. There's an abundance, and I know that that's forgetting a lot. So there are 5 major subdisciplines within civil engineering. There are actually more. However, I'm breaking it into the 4 subdisciplines that my institute used, as well as one other that I believe is really important. So let's start with the one that I focus on, and it's water and environmental engineering. And it could be easy to actually break those apart even further, as there are with many of these subdisciplines. However, I'm going to clump that together just because a lot of my classes did that. So I work with stormwater, wastewater, drinking water. You can also do hydraulics, river mechanics. Environmental can be anything from sustainable designs, ecological. Environmental engineering is one that's very broad as well. The second subdiscipline is structures. This is my least favorite. Nobody should ever ask me to build a building. You guys want a wastewater treatment facility? Hit me up. So structural engineering has a lot to do with buildings and bridges, and within those you have a lot of wind engineering, earthquake engineering, making sure that those designs can hold everything up. And if you really think about it, structural engineers are so important to our society. Every building, every home, every bridge, it's infinite the amount of things that structural engineers do. I currently have one of my best friends who graduated with me back in May. Shout out to you, you know who you are. I just want to take a second to congratulate her. She's getting her master's in structural engineering less than a year after she graduated with her undergraduate degree. I'm so proud of her, and I would definitely go to her to get structures built, but I would never trust myself. The third subdiscipline within civil engineering is transportation. This may be one that you commonly think of if you think of civil engineering, if someone has mentioned the name to you. This is your typical roads. This can also be bridges and railways. There's a lot to do with pavement and the way that things move. One of my second favorite probably is the 4th subdiscipline within civil engineering, and that is geotechnical engineering. So geotechnical engineering is a lot to do with soil and foundations, material science. And what I do, a lot of the projects that I've been involved in, we need geotechnical experience. We need someone who to come in and perform soil analysis and make sure that those foundations are viable. And the 5th and final subdiscipline that I'm going to discuss is construction. So construction engineering is very interesting because this is something that you got to prepare to be on site a lot in most cases. So it can be inspecting, it can be the management, it can be construction management where you're in charge of watching over projects. So construction is just, it's also very broad. You're looking over a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things at one time. You could be moving from place to place and traveling a lot. My best friend, that's what she chose to do. She got her degree, bachelor's degree in civil engineering back in May with me, and she's in construction. So my next part is about me in civil engineering specifically. So to give a little backstory, I kind of knew I wanted to do engineering for a really long time. So when I was really young, if someone would ask me what I wanted to do when I grow up, I would say be a doctor, which if you've watched my anxiety video or know anything about my anxiety, medical things are basically the biggest trigger I get. So I don't want to be a doctor. However, it started in about 5th, 6th grade. I just decided, I went to a couple of workshops and camps, and I decided I really like engineering, which at the time I didn't know much about it, but I liked it, or I thought I liked it. But I changed multiple times until I actually went to college. I started out and I was like, I want to be an electrical engineer. That sounds so cool. I love this. And I actually did some projects for 4-H with electrical. And I quickly learned that it's pretty difficult. And I was right. Shout out to all the W's out there. You guys are awesome. Even introduction to electrical engineering in college was difficult for me. So then I switched in late middle school, early high school to agricultural engineering because agriculture is truly a big passion of mine. Grew up on a farm and I absolutely love agriculture. So I had planned on going and getting an agricultural engineering degree. However, that one's not as popular at every university, so I had slim choices. And then I finally, once I chose the institute that I wanted to attend, since I did not have agriculture engineering, I chose chemical engineering because the research I had done showed that they could be similar. I could do a little bit of that agriculture work and chemical if I were to get that degree. So I thought, all right, let's go for it. So I end up choosing this private school, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It's a difficult school to get into, which I also didn't really know. I went on a couple visits, stayed overnight, found my awesome roommate, and I was like, yep, I'm going there. And I got on the campus, and it felt so right. It's interesting because it's on a quarter system. So I went to school for 10 weeks, then I took finals, and I had a week off. So each quarter, I'm still taking between 14 and 18 credit hours most of the time. So by the time that I graduated, I had almost double the credit hours of what a public semester school would get. So I got a lot more classes in, I got a lot more experience in, and I'm very grateful for that. But let me tell you guys something. It was freaking hard. It was so difficult. But I made it. That's something that I'm so proud of. I mean, I had the best support system. I had an amazing boyfriend who became my husband. I had such great friends and family who supported me every step of the way. Like I said, I started out as a chemical engineer. It only took me a quarter to realize that was not going to happen. I didn't feel like I was in the right place. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to do what I wanted to do once I learned more about it. So the end of winter quarter, so there's fall quarter, winter quarter, spring quarter, I switched to civil engineering. And I had a couple of friends in civil engineering, so I was asking questions to them, kind of what is this about? You know, what are my options for majors? And it sounded like I could do a little bit of agriculture within civil engineering. So I did some research, and it turns out that that was true. So I came in a little bit behind, but luckily I had some classes that had transferred from high school. I took some college classes. So those were really only a couple of classes that I had to make up during my sophomore year. And then I was back on track with the students that were in my graduating class. So I did figure out very quickly that agriculture is heavily involved in civil engineering, which I loved. I got to talk about it a lot in my classes, and I absolutely love that. Anytime that I can just advocate for agriculture, I love it, and I'm so happy to do so. So it was a big fit. And then in senior year, you have the opportunity to kind of choose your path. You choose your path for senior design. You choose what you want to be the subdiscipline for. So each senior design group would have a geotechnical engineer, a structural engineer, a transportation engineer, and a water environmental engineer. So I served as the water environmental, and I just loved my water classes and the environmental engineering classes that I took. So when it came time for me to do those extra classes where I could choose, I chose water classes. I did river mechanics, and I did a lot with HECRAS, which is a water modeling software. I loved those, and they were so challenging, but I really, really enjoyed doing them. So that's how I ended up in water resources engineering. And I said at the beginning of the video that I wanted to go into it so that I could help people, and I do feel like I do that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'll do any videos you want me to do. I'll talk about whatever you guys want. If you want more information about engineering or want me to talk about different majors in engineering, just let me know. I am once again so grateful for all of your support. I'm so humbled by the amount of people who have been watching my videos and commenting or messaging me. It's been amazing. So thank you so much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you know when I get new videos uploaded. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.